Good evening to you all, viewers. Welcome once again. Welcome once again. A very blessed Sunday to you all. Welcome to Practical Talk with Floris Lyman. I trust that your day has been blessed, right? Oh, it's a privilege to be alive. It's a privilege to be alive. January has almost come to an end. So I think it's very, very befitting for us to be discussing this topic today because it is very important as we have entered 2023 by the special grace of God. So important for us to do some great planning so that we can have great success. You know, one of my French teachers once said to us, he said, to plan to fail is to fail to plan. He used to say that to us all the time. He would say to me, Floris, to plan to fail is to fail to plan. And you know what? Most of the times that has happened to us, if we are honest with ourselves, including myself here. You know, I'm not consistent with the way I plan. And, just learning from this today is really, really going to help a lot of us. And it's nice for us to be flexible. It's nice for us to always have something new. Always good for us to have something new. So, just before we do that, let me just introduce myself once again. My name is Pastor Floris Lyman. I am a minister in word and in song. As you can see, I am a chat show host, both here online also, and I do events online and in person. I do speaking, and also I am an author. Right? That's just a brief description about myself. And just to let you know, you are invited to welcome me on here. If you would like to share something wonderful that you're doing, if you like to share a good cause, maybe you have a charity, you're touching lives out there, this platform is for you all. You can come on, we can support you and ask viewers as well to support you and the work that you do. So you're more than welcome. The details are all there. florislyman@gmail.com, telephone number 07944702349. All right. So thank you very much for joining us. As you can see today, our title is The Transforming Power of Planning. Wow, the transforming power of planning. And with me, I have my wonderful guest here called Mrs. Adetola Sarah Elutilo, right? So I just want to let us know briefly about our guest for tonight's program. Actually, she's the very first guest to be on here. I'm so privileged to have her. So she's opening 2023 for us on this platform. This is not the faith aspect of the platform, but on this side of the platform, she's opening it for us. And I think this topic, like I have said, is very, very important. Planning. We cannot just be running helter skelter this year. Planning helps us. But anyway, let me not go into her thing because that's hers. So, Mrs. Sarah is a podcaster. She is an entrepreneur, an author, and a social media strategist with the aim of turning people's pain points around through solving their social media and business needs. So if you're using social media and you're really struggling, someone is here for you that you need to reach out to. She says she's the author of My Greatness Journal 2022. So she had a journal 2022, which I can proudly present. I'm already bluffing with mine. See, so lovely. Beautiful. Anyway, we're coming to that. Right. My Transformational Journal 2023. So 2 already. She is the founder of Social with Tola. You can find her on Facebook as we speak. A social media agency helping businesses and brands boost visibility and grow their business on social media. She also volunteers for the BME Suffolk Support Group, BSSG charity, which is her only way of giving back to the society, and I would say community. That was very, very brief and succinct, but loaded. She does. I'm sure she does a lot of things. Yeah. By the way, happy belated birthday to you, Mrs. Sarah Elutilo, and pray that the Lord add more to you this year. Thank you. God bless you. I want to welcome you to say hi to our viewers. Over to you.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Pastor Flo. I'm truly honored to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation as well. I don't take it for granted. And yeah, I'm happy to be here with you tonight. Thank you for the introduction as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So, viewers, we are going straight. As you can see, our topic for today is the transforming power of planning. Have you ever planned in your life? If so, were you consistent? Have you been consistent with planning? Did you plan for January, February, March? Then you left April, May, June. Then you came again July, August, September, and December. Do we all want to try something new this year? For me, I believe I can do better. I confessed my sins already that I can do better, honestly, because, everybody, for example, we have goals. We have goals, say 2023, oh, these are my goals now. This is what I'm going to do. So part of those goals, for us to achieve those things, we're going to need planning. But as I say, Mr. Sarah, for the benefit of our viewers, Lady Sarah, first of all, what is the meaning of planning? Because for somebody that's new, that's watching us, what are they talking about? So we want to reach the wider audience. What's the meaning of planning? Over to you.
Thank you so much once again, Pastor Flo. And as I said earlier, planning. I mean, it means different things to different people. But for me, I'll say planning is the process of thinking regarding the activities required to achieve a particular goal. And also, planning is based on foresight and the capacity to think ahead as well. So planning cannot be overemphasized. The amazing power of planning cannot be overemphasized. I'll say there's practically nothing we can do in life without planning, going towards it. If we want that particular thing to be successful, or if we want to be successful in that particular thing.
Right, thank you so much. By the way, before we continue, I'd meant to ask you, why did you choose this? Why did you decide to do this? My transformational journal. Why? What drove you to do this?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. So the first thing is, because I did the one for 2022, which is called My Greatness Journal. No, that one is the 2023 one you've got on you. There's another one for 2022. It's called My Greatness Journal. So that came about. I was just having a chat with some ladies, over WhatsApp. And all of a sudden, I just realized one of the ladies was saying, "Oh, okay, I'd like to look into, excuse me, having my own journal." And as soon as she said that, that just sprung up something within me. And, I just could not rest, since as soon as the lady just mentioned that, and I just knew that, there was a stir up within me. I had to do something about it. And I didn't have a clue, nothing, no clue whatsoever. So what I did was I obviously started researching, speaking to people, people who've written journals before as well, asking for tips, for advice and all that. And, in the course of it, I found, a few people give me tips and advice, and I just went for it. And, it was really amazing. And the feedback I got from my Greatness Journal 2022, obviously I knew that time that it was going to be a yearly thing, that was what came to mind at the time. And, I didn't look back, and thankful to God, I launched it on my birthday last year. That was what I just wanted. I just wanted that. Got some pastors to pray with me and all that, and that was my birthday done. And I was so satisfied. with that. And so for 2023, I knew I was going to do something else. And I got feedbacks as well from the people who had the 2022 journal saying that, okay, because I was going to title it again, My Greatness Journal 2023. But someone suggested, oh, why not, give it another title, different from My Greatness Journal 2022. And I, obviously went to work and, different titles were coming to mind. And I decided to settle for My Transformational Journal 2023, and it's been an amazing, amazing journey, with the fact that I didn't have any knowledge at all, of journaling, of putting things down and all that. And, being able to put them together now is just remarkable achievement. And I just thank God for, the strength, for the grace as well, for bringing this to fruition.
Wow, 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 wow. So, some of them I want to say, thank you so much for sharing that. Someone might want to, because people might be asking and thinking, because like I said, we downplay a lot of things sometimes, which might be so beneficial um, to us. By the way, what we say on this platform, I guarantee you, if you put it to practice, it will bless you, it will benefit you, it will profit you. There is time for fun on this platform, and there is time for education, there is time for empowerment, there is time for awareness. So today is empowerment, because 2023 has to be different. So I just needed to chip that in there. So, what makes planning transformational? How can planning transform someone's life? What will you say?
Um, as I said earlier, the benefit of planning cannot be overemphasized. So for me personally, I know what planning has done to me personally in terms of being a lot more organized with my activities, daily activities, weekly activities, monthly activities as well. And that's one. It obviously planning makes you organized, whether you like it or not, believe it or not. You tend to be a lot more organized when you plan around your things, your activities, whether daily, monthly, weekly, you know and at every point in time of the day as well, because you're able to set your time to this, set a time to that, to this appointment, to that appointment. Then you're able to know when you've got your free slot as well to fit someone else in. You're able to know, what time your appointments are. You're not going to miss your appointments because you've got them written down. Because I know, to me, it's happened to me in the past. I will say, oh yeah, I'll do this thing, but because I haven't written it down, I'll just forget. But once I write it down, that is just a constant reminder, behind at the back of my head, that okay, this thing, I've written it down, I've got to do it, I've got to do it, I've got to do it. And you've got it there anyway. It's just staring at you in the face. So there's no way you can miss your appointments. There's no way you can miss meetings. There's no way you can even miss deadlines, because you're writing everything all in there. So you're not leaving anything out. So that is, and one amazing power of that can transform your planning. That's the transforming power of planning. It keeps you more organized, and it helps you keep tab on all your appointments, on all your meetings, on all your deadlines as well. And excuse me, another thing I would say as well is that you're not overwhelmed as well, because I know it's happened to me in the past, because of lack of planning. I used to get really overwhelmed, I used to get really drained, and I wasn't organized as well. So yeah. So these are the things that planning can do for you. You can, it takes that overwhelm off you, it takes that heavy load off you as well. You're able to function better as well. You're able to have that mental headspace as well. You're not carrying anything, you're not, being overwhelmed, being, weighed down with the issues of life, as I call them, and you're able to function better as well. You're able to think, to think better as well, because you don't have anything clouding your mental faculty. You don't have anything, clouding even your judgments as well, because everything is free. You've got your free free and clear mind as well. So yeah, and it's just amazing. I mean, for me, I cannot stress the need to plan enough. We cannot. Another thing is we cannot over plan. We can only under plan. So that's another thing. And as I said earlier, and I totally agree, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. No two ways about it. So yeah, we'll need to have that at the back of our mind, as well.
Wow. So, wow. It's so true. Everything you said is so, so, so true. Because I think sometimes because we lack hope, and we look at the limitations, that stops us from planning. Just like, say, what's this life? Maybe tomorrow I'm not here. So what's the point of planning? Let me just leave. My brother, my sister, my friend, my viewers. No, we have to plan. Like she said, it takes so much of stress off us. And, someone sent me a message to say, why should we plan? I think that's what we are dealing with right now, but maybe you can add more. But I did ask a question to say, obviously there are hindrances. There are things that factors that are responsible for us not planning. So I believe that the fact that we have those stuff around us is not going to help us to plan. Mindset, a whole lot of things come to play, and that stops us from planning. So why should we plan? What are the factors? What are the hindrances that stops us from planning?
The first reason why we should plan is because it helps us identify our goals clearly. So you've got it clearly, you've got it on pen and paper, and it's clearly stated. So there's no way you can go wrong, on what it is you've written down already. You can only make it better, but there's no way you can go wrong on it. So that is one very important benefit of planning. And the second one as well is it makes us decide clearly and concretely as well, concretely what we need to do to have the effect, on the society we want. So, how do you want to impact your society? You can impact your society through effective planning. That's basically what that is telling us. You cannot just go out there and say, for example, let me even use this as an example. So for our pastors that, preach, maybe at church every Sundays, or maybe if we have a guest minister, a lot of planning do go into those sermons that they come to the pulpit to preach to us. So these are the benefit of planning. And you find out that if a pastor has not planned well, you can tell, because everything would just be disjointed. Nothing is going to make sense, and even you yourself, you're just going to be wondering what is going on today. Why is this pastor talking this way today? Because you're just not feeling it, and it's very, very unlike that particular pastor. So that is why planning is so, so important.
Just hold
And
on, just hold on. That just resonated so much with me because you use a typical example there that happens in everyday life. You
mm,
know, again, failing to plan, you're failing to you are planning to go and disgrace yourself because you just be
mm,
repeating yourself. And the Bible says, and Psalm 23, and you just be reading and reading and reading, reading, and the congregation is just going, oh my days. And again, the same scripture says, study to show yourself approved. And that studying is part of planning because in there, you're making notes, you're highlighting. If you want to do slides, you do. Back then we did have slides, but it means you are able to make notes and you are able to properly present that word to a congregation. I believe
yeah.
that's the same that applies to people in business. If you're going for a business meeting, you don't just turn up. Not so. You have to plan, have an agenda. Even in an organization, planning takes place. I don't know why we struggle to plan as families. Only few
Mm,
families, maybe if we check the percentage. I didn't do the research. I don't know if you've done a research of how families plan. Maybe families plan only for holidays and not for other things. Some families might be good at planning for almost everything, up to their money, their expenditure for the year. Most of us don't. Anyway, continue. Just I can't leave that.
Yeah, so that's number one, and number two as well is okay. Number three actually, because I've mentioned two so far, and it also helps us make sure that we understand our goals, and that what we need to reach it, and it helps us to understand what we need to reach it by involving everyone we need to involve in the planning process as well. So sometimes you plan and you're not able to execute it all by yourself. You need the help of other people. So that's where the essence of planning comes in. You're able to pencil down the people you need to help you achieve this particular goal. So for me, for example, as a social media strategist, the first thing I do is I do like a free consultation with whoever is interested in working with me, and that is obviously planning is going into that as well. And the module I use, so in terms of there's a link I send out for anyone who's indicated interest. I just send that link and I say, and on the link it's got the calendar, it's got my availability, and so that what the person just needs to do, click on that link, just select a day, and a date and a time that suits the person, and that's it, and we're good to go and that's the meeting, the appointment booked. And that is all planning, all to do with planning. So the person books the appointment, I get the notification, and I know that, okay, yes, at this time I've got this discovery call with this person, and all that. And I write it down as well. And that's still part of planning as well. You cannot overemphasize the need for planning. There's nothing we can do in life without planning, without putting planning towards it. And if we don't plan, obviously we're setting ourselves selves up for failure. That's the long and short of it. So
Hmm.
planning is crucial.
Hmm. Right. I was just reading a comment here. Thank you, Lady Teresa, for your contribution. Please bring the contributions in. How many people are guilty? Because, like I said, I am not perfect at all with planning, and I really hope I will get better. This year, having had this, I have diaries, different kind of diaries, just scattered everywhere. And then I'm looking for information from different places when I can have it all centralized in one place. Need to be a bit more organized. And it helps, like you said, it helps. So like Teresa said, a lot of families don't plan, which is a great error. See, the main reason for breakdown in relationships, ooh, now we're going deeper. And she said she herself, and oh, the me, myself, and I approach that we normally have, does not help also. I think that's a hindrance there that stops people from planning. And she was confirming that planning indeed is very, very crucial.
I couldn't agree more, Sister Teresa. And me, myself, and I, most times, it's a lot more visible in relationships. When you say you do, it has to be both parties, the two becoming one. So when you now take me into that, then that marriage is going to head for the rocks, because they're two different people coming together, to live as one, two different people coming from two different backgrounds, two different upbringings and all that, trying to meet, at a, at a middle point to just, live life together as one, basically. So me, myself, and I've heard that before, and I agree 100% with that, that it doesn't work in a marriage situation. And yeah, obviously, I agree as well that in marriage, most people don't tend to plan and all that. Even some people, you just said holiday, but some people don't even plan, for holidays. What we see most times is people just taking up shifts upon shifts upon shifts upon shifts, just overworking themselves. But whereas if you have a planner, you know that, okay, yes, maybe I want to do like block shifts for 2 weeks, then maybe
Hmm,
rest for a week,
hmm,
or 2 weeks
wow.
possibly, then go for another maybe 2 weeks or something. But then just find that rest in between, because unfortunately, a lot of people have lost their lives as a result of this, overworking themselves, sending money to, okay, maybe Nigeria, for example, or Africa, doing lots of work here over time and not taking care of themselves, not looking after their health, because health is wealth, whether we like it or not. We need to take care of ourselves. Is when we're hale and hearty that we can actually take up more shifts and do these things, do, whatever work. And for me, I have a motto which says that if you someone who works hard should also be able to enjoy hard as well. You can't just keep working and working, not finding a balance between it, and not deeming it fit to go on holiday. You're working, you're saving money. What are you saving the money for if you cannot give yourself a treat? Just go on a decent holiday. It doesn't even have to be, the most expensive of holidays, but just, take yourself away. Just go and just leave everything behind that you can come back to it again. It's just a way of, refreshing the brain, the mind, the soul, the body, and you find out that you're a lot more relaxed and you get a lot more productive when you go back to work as well. But unfortunately, our people don't tend to understand this. They
Hold on,
believe that.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Hey, you just touch on something. Our people, viewers, we have to be real here. Most of the things we are talking about, these when she said our people, you and I know what we are talking about. When it comes to Caucasians, they don't joke about. They are planning for holiday, like she was just saying now, planning their work shift, you know, plan your finance. They plan. They plan, But us, we just going like a zombie. And you end up retiring. What happens instead of you enjoying all the money you've been working for because you never planned and made time, planned for me time. Like we're talking now, if you're a couple, make time to go for that spa, make time, call a minder, babysit the children, take time out, even if it's quarterly, and it doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah,
So you see how this planning is taking us into some places we didn't even want to go, but it's all interrelated.
that's right.
Make time, plan your shift. Don't some of us don't plan, and it's affecting the way it's affecting your sex life, it's affecting your family life. You don't sleep well because you have not planned your work pattern. You're just working all because of this money. It's because we have not planned properly for the money. We all want the money. Because you know what? A lot of these things we're talking about, again, finance is key, Lady Sarah. Finance is key to all of this.
Absolutely.
Also, it's
Absolutely.
like we are finance is in the middle of the finance is core. We can plan. If you're a believer, you can plan how, if you're struggling, for example, to read your Bible. So we are talking about holistic things right now. Everything. You can plan your spiritual life. You said today, I want to read one chapter a day. You're not competing with the person that's been reading 6, 7 chapters. You don't know when they started, but you
Yeah.
can plan. You have books, study plans all over the place, Bible study plans. What about savings? You can plan to save. Oh my goodness. Everything we can plan. We have Caucasians, they plan their death. You see, they are having parties. So this is when I die, this is this. We don't do that. Hey,
We leave the burden for the family to carry.
please,
And in
please,
this country,
please.
unfortunately, it's expensive to, the what is it called? The palo and all that. The
Insurance is part of planning.
funeral parlor as well. Yeah, insurance. Yeah. Do you know
Viewers,
what? Saying that, there was someone I told about insurance, life insurance. She said, "Oh, please don't tell me about that. I don't want to hear it." And I'm like, "Really? This is someone that has a business doing really well. Everything else you can tell her, but she doesn't want to hear that." But the thing is, death is inevitable. We're all going to die, whether we like it or not. So planning ahead is just the best thing to do. It is just the best thing to do. And I just could not believe it. And this is someone who is educated. If it was someone who wasn't, I will understand. But, that just took me aback. And I was like, I just couldn't get my head around it, when she mentioned it, and it's just, I think it's to do with ignorance as well, because whether we like it or not, we're going to die. So the earlier we started planning, the better, making it easier for for our family we're leaving behind to not keep having headaches, sleepless nights, about the cemetery, the funeral parlor, things like that, because it's expensive in this country, and believe it or not, whether we like it or not, we'll all die at some point in our lives. But obviously, our prayers would be for God to keep us and spare our lives to live till our ripe old age before we pass away. But for me, I don't want to pass away and put the burden on my children, because it's just not fair on them. So the little, you're able to put towards a life insurance, for example, is going to go a long way. It is going to go a long way, and they can use the money for something. They'll get the lump sum. They can use part of it for the funeral. Then they can use part of it for whatever, maybe deposit for their houses or something like that. But because I just don't feel comfortable. It doesn't sit well with me. I'm sitting down here and not having a life insurance. It just, for me, it just doesn't make sense. But some people don't understand the need for it. So I think we'd still need to do a lot of sensitizing around that as well, for people to understand the need for it, and yeah, it's going to pay off in the end. It's going to pay off because they're going to have very good, send forth and all that, and the family will still have money left behind to do other things as well.
How did we end up here to funeral? It's just the power of planning. That's why the topic is called the transformational power of planning. Please, life insurance, you can start from £5, $5. I remember one time, when I migrated newly to the United Kingdom. I was looking at every penny that I had. And I remember I started the life insurance at some point when I was really struggling financially. I stopped it. Then it was so cheap. I stopped it. So a few years up the line, I put myself back on it. I said, no way. Even if I don't have a dime, I'm not coming off it because I know there is something, at least when I go to be with the Lord, there is something. Any other thing that comes is a bonus. I am fine with that. Same things like pension. If you don't have your organizational pension, you can have a private pension because you know what? We need to, even it's natural for us to have streams of income just being multiplied in various places, because the way things are going, just that one income, it's like even those receiving pension, they are complaining that they've been cheated of their pensions. They are not even getting much after all the work that they have been working. So people, we need to we need to plan. I just want to read some comments here. Someone said,
They're making me laugh here, these comments, but they're actually true, unbelievable.
oh, Lady Jane, thank you so much. Lady Jane said, this is us. At the end, it makes us angry with ourselves and others. Lady Teresa said, you are so right. Overworking, but no consideration for oneness that the family needs. Lady Yvette from Australia, thank you so much. She said, thank you very much for this discussion. Very true. People killing themselves and not looking after their well-being. Other people will eat that money for you. We have a program in United Kingdom, I don't know for other places, that traces your ancestors. I've forgotten where they look. It used to be on BBC One, where they look
Ancestry DNA.
people who have died and nobody was there to claim their inheritance. They are looking even for their distant cousin, that person that was never part of your life. Meanwhile, maybe you have your children, you had other people close to you. You could have planned, put something little by little. You have a charity. Now your inheritance is just scattered everywhere. She said people killing themselves. Lady Yvette also said she has a practical example where this woman was just working, and in the end, she's no more. We need to plan indeed and work towards. That's another thing. Are we planning to live a healthy lifestyle? She said, thank you so much for this beneficial discussion. By the way, you can reach Lady Sarah She's a coach. You can reach her for more. She's loaded. Lady Teresa said, we need more of these open, honest discussions on planning. People don't talk about these things on relationships, insurance, and many more. Even my son that just turned 18, I've told them, you are not depending on my insurance. I'm going to put you on one. They can go on life assurance. There are so many things. Let's get ourselves educated. It's not only life insurance, there is life assurance. There are so many things. I have told them, you are starting. I've told my son already, don't depend on my own. I don't want you guys fighting tomorrow when nobody's fighting each. But you need to start, because you need to put something in place for yourself, for your children. You can plan. If something happens to you at work, you need to plan what is going to be in place. The work stop paying you your full money after maybe 3 months, 3 to 4 months. Families, mothers are returning back to work because of childcare. Their childcare money is being reduced. Lady Teresa said we need more of open and honest discussion on this. Oh, someone said she's going to share with her sister in London who is a workaholic. Oops. This is it. You can get it. It's on Amazon. I just got mine, and you know what? It is loaded. Everything is in there, and it also helps us to discipline ourselves. I have a few more questions before we enjoy the comments. The comments are just blowing in. Um, you were talking about some of the benefits. Can you just expand a bit more? What are the benefits if we plan, and what are the disadvantages? I think they've all just come up naturally as we are talking, but maybe we've left one or two you might just want to touch on, Lady Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Flo. So, benefits of planning, they definitely help us declutter. So, because if we don't plan, everything is all over the place. But once we plan, there's a lot more structure in place, and there's a lot more decluttering, all over the place. Because, for example, my journal as well, I put everything in there. For before I started making use of my journal, for example, I'll just grab this notepad here, right here, grab another one there, right there. But because I've got the journal, I just put everything in there. And it's got and it's an all-round kind of journal as well. So you can record your water intake, your exercise, your steps. You can record your mood for the day. You can record your appointments, the time for your appointments, the things you want to get done today. You can record the weather. You can record your mood. It's got the income and expense tracker as well. Who you want to call for the day, who you want to email. It's got what are you grateful for today as well. And it's more of a gratitude journal as well. And the best part for me is the fact that on every page it's got a word of affirmation for every single day of the year. That is, for me, that just keeps me going. It keeps me going for the day. I take one, and this one I've got here says, there is no greater love than the love God has for me. If Ephesians 1:7, I'll run with that one, for the whole day. The next day I have another word as well to run with, another word of affirmation to run with for the whole day as well, which is it's just amazing. So it definitely has helped me declutter. Another benefit of planning is it reduces stress. I know I used to be stressed up a lot before I started, taking my journaling seriously, and all that. I just could not think straight, because I had a lot going on my mind. But for example, now if I have anything going on my mind, I just write it down, and and that way I'm easing off the burden of me as well. Another benefit of planning is it improves learning as well, because you're planning, you don't have anything occupying your mind. You're able to learn without any distractions. You're able to learn without things getting in the way as well, and it makes you happier as well, because you don't have anything you're thinking. Well, we think of things quite all right, but because you're a lot more structured, it just makes you a lot more happy. It makes you happier, because for me as well, I used to find out that I got so tensed because I had a lot of things going on, and I wasn't I wasn't putting them down. I wasn't journaling. I wasn't doing on any of these. I just noticed I used to be worked up. I used to be worked up.
I want to say something. Please permit me.
Go on, man.
Most of us need to be delivered. Sometimes we keep everything in here, which is not good. It's so unhealthy. It gives us headache, high blood pressure, migraine,
Yeah.
because we've kept everything in here. Why not put it here? Just write. I'm telling you, Lord help me. Yeah,
Do you know what you
we keep
just said now?
everything in
Someone,
here.
someone will say, "Okay, I've got it in my head. I've got it in my head," and I just laugh. I said, "There is just because there is so much you can put in your head when you're in a training, or for example, 3 hours. The only there's a little percentage you can just store in your brain. That is just the way life is. But whereas if you're writing it down, or maybe you're screenshotting and all that, where you can go back to it, you're a lot more, you learn a lot, you learn a whole lot better that way, and you tend to remember things that way as well, because you're going back to it. So it's your memory, you're retaining this information. So it's retentive memory and all that. I say to people when they say, "Oh, I've got it in my head," no, there is so much you can have in your head. There's so much you can retain in up there. So put this information down, journal, put the information down, and just go from there, really. Because and as well, planning promotes mindfulness as well. You're able to take that back seat, think. You're able to think, and you're able to just practice mindfulness, as well, because you don't have so much on your mind. You don't have so much on your chest, so much on your plate, and all that. And mindfulness, practicing mindfulness is very, very encouraged. Is very important as well to do that daily. And planning also improves our odds of success as well. So we're a lot more successful if we've put planning in place. But if we haven't, then anything can go wrong, anything can happen. So yeah, these are the benefits of planning, and the disadvantages. It could be planning could be a costly process, so to you need to be ready to pay the price. Basically, that's what it means, because when you're planning, you're paying the price in a way, and you just need to be ready. You need to be determined to do that, and and stick to it as well. You need to be disciplined. It requires a lot of discipline as well, because sometimes planning could go out of the window, and you could just lose track. You could lose focus. But once you're determined, once you're determined, you're consistent with it, you will definitely make a success of it. Planning also leads to rigidity. you know um a lot of things goes into planning. So so the disadvantage is, it could be rigid. If you don't put your all into it, you can see it as a chore, as opposed to something you'll enjoy. And you're meant to enjoy planning, basically. When you put things down, you're meant to enjoy it. But if you're just seeing it as something you need to do, not doing it with the whole of your heart, then it just becomes like, okay, you're ticking the box, which is not meant to be. It's meant to be a case of, okay, when you speak to someone on the phone, oh, you've got an appointment for so day, you're putting it down. Another thing for so day, you're putting it down. Even like you said, planning around, studying the word of God, meditating the word of God, prayer time and all that. Everything you can put down, everything you can put down to planning, and you'll just notice that your day is going to go very smooth. No hindrance whatsoever, happening as a result as well. And another disadvantage of planning is resistant to change. So we just need to go all out to make sure that we make a success of it, basically. Because if we don't, if we're not disciplined, and we're not committed to it, then we might fail in, in our planning process as a result as well.
Yeah, but at least, we are left with that joy that at least we planned. Because sometimes, like you said, we have to be flexible. So, for example, you have someone that planned to go Barbados, and
Hmm.
a family member, something happened to them and you are not able to go. So at least because you have planned, you can put your ticket, that journey on hold. You can arrange with the airline or whatever, or you might just decide not to go again. Let me just take it and whatever. But at least there was something,
In
put in
place, yeah.
place. So again, that's where the flexibility is. And like
Mm.
you said, let's not be too rigid on ourselves. It starts from little.
Hmm.
I was just reading. Thank you, Lady Carol Babalola. Thank you so much. MCB TV. Thank you. She said discipline and consistency are some of the major keys. Very informative. Yes, someone said they are going to get their copy. Thank you, Lady Yvette. Lady Teresa said journaling is practicing mindfulness, which reduces stress. We are talking about just
Absolutely.
having everything in our head. And you,
Hmm.
you hear us say, I have 1,001 things. I say that all the time. I say, I have 1,001 things. What is it? It's not even written anywhere. It's
Mm.
all inside of me. 1,001 things to catch up on. But if we start writing it down, at least start by writing, it helps. Then it helps us again to prioritize. Otherwise, we'll
Mm.
be jumping helter skelter. But when you plan, it helps you. You see a list of to do, and it now helps you to action what is needed at that particular time, so that we are not just all over the place.
Mhm.
Lady Eva says she uses her diary, but the practical journal needs to be emulated. Writing helps to release things that are usually stored in your mind that
That's
causes
right.
stress. Yes. Wow. 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 This needs a Zoom session. It is. And what she's giving here is loaded. By the way, if you need her, if you have your ladies' event, if you have things going on and you want her to come and talk, this is so important. Please do reach out to her. She is on Facebook and social with Tola. She's on Facebook and she's also on Instagram. Please reach out to her. And thank God we have Zoom so you can connect with her any part of the world. Yeah, yeah. This one is not an Indian. She can plan well. So, so I think through having this conversation, we've already talked about how planning can transform and shape our life. All of these things we're talking about, the benefits, they are all part of this. Our lives can really be transformed.
Mhm.
And like you mentioned earlier, we can touch the lives of others around us. And, not only us, not only our family members, but other people in our communities, our societies, our workplace. If you are a manager that you're all over the place, even your employees talk about you. No, if you're in an organization that's, they just do things anyhow, even us as the workers, we talk about it that this
Mhm.
place, this place is not planned. They're just doing things left. The management, you hear people complaining.
Yeah.
So are you a manager? How well have you planned for things to run in your organization? Are you a leader? Are you a family person? How well are you planning in your home that
Mm.
nobody is left out, nobody is suffering as a result of poor planning? Are you in ministry? How well are you planning to lead the flock? I saw a statement that somebody made today say, don't just love your flock for their gifts. Ooh,
Mm.
get
Oof.
that one. Love them for
Ooh.
their
Oh
soul.
my goodness. And that
Crave
is a
for their
fact.
soul. I
Mm.
just saw that statement today.
Ooh.
Are we planning?
That's powerful. Mm.
I am not there, but like Apostle Paul said, just because I am limited does not stop me from sharing the good news. Now
Mm.
we are all learning.
Mm.
We are all learning. How are you planning to live? At least make effort to cut
Mm.
down. Some of us, where we come from, we struggle to live rice.
Mm.
who struggle to live. This is a Afro-Caribbean human being that has come, and she's talking about transformation journal. I'm sure somebody will be saying, what planet did she come from? This kind of things, we don't do it. No, change has to happen. That's the, I was saying to Lady Sarah that the beauty about it is, we are all created to do various and diverse things. I would not have imagined doing this. She took her time to put this together. So let's support, because that's one thing we do on this platform. Please support the work of our hands. Let's not just enjoy this program, support the work. Let this be a birthday gift, even for, our girls, they love all these books, have their little diaries, but this, even for adults, we need it.
Yeah.
Honestly, somebody will be ashamed to say, at least they gave me a book. Let me write it. You know, honestly, wow, 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 wow. So you said you've published 2023 as well?
Oh,
Have
you've
you,
got 2023. That's what you've got. Yeah, I published 2022 as well. My Greatness Journal.
how can they get this copy? How can they get this copy? Because I know you live in London, but I got mine on Amazon. Yeah. So it is on Amazon. Viewers, you can get your copy on Amazon, Amazon.co, all the Amazon platforms, market.
UK. Yeah, yeah.
You
All
can get
Amazon
it.
Market. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure if you want to pay for your postage, because we don't want to limit people only, if you want to pay for your postage, she is more than happy. Because some places don't have Amazon, some countries don't have Amazon. So if you
I'll
would
put
like
my
to
website
pay
on.
for your copy to be posted to you, please do contact her. Social with Tola, she is on Facebook. Contact her and she will get. I know some of you, I posted copies of my books to you, so this can reach you as well. All the way in Australia. All the way in Australia. Stay it. Wow. What a
Oh,
great work. When I saw it, I'm like, wow. She actually, you're a person who plans. She actually sat down, and I've seen the way you work, the way you do some of your stuff. It can tell that, you take time to do it. And these are the things we need to celebrate and acknowledge one another for the things that we do. Well done. Well done for
thank you,
all
ma'am.
that you do. So tell us briefly, um, I did talk about how the book can be purchased. What are the other things that you do? Just let our viewers know briefly so they can contact you as well.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. So, I know I was hosting a podcast for a year and a half, so I just decided to put it on hold for this year because the Lord is ministering to me that I should be doing more of like webinars this year. So that's what I want to focus on this year. Just, inviting guests onto it and just discussing different topics, where people can be blessed, where people can be empowered, where they can be equipped as well. So yeah, that's one thing I do. And I also yeah, I'm obviously an author of two journals now and counting by God's grace. And yeah, yeah, I'm an entrepreneur as well. So I do some business on the side, some businesses on the side as well. And yeah, I'm a social media manager, social media strategist. So basically, what that means is you're for example, a full-time worker. You work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and you have a business on the side as well. At the same time, you want your business to thrive, but you just don't have the time for it. So I step in there. I help your business to gain visibility online. I help you with the marketing as well, and basically just make you seen, make you visible, make you seen, put content out there for you as well. I'm a content creator as well, so put content out there for you as well. And yeah, and the sky will be the starting point for you, as a result, by God's grace. So how that works is, I obviously, as I mentioned earlier, I have a discovery call, a free 30-minute consultation where I'll come on a call with you, find out, more about you, more about your business, what you want to achieve, things like that, just to find out if we're a great fit, to work together. And, from then on, then I send you my business proposal, and, we just take it from there, really. So, yeah, that's what I do as well. And yeah, I also volunteer for a charity here in Suffolk, where I'm based, called VME Suffolk Support Group. And yeah, as I said, it's just my way of, giving back to my community and the society at large. And yeah, and so the journal can be purchased on Amazon, any of the Amazon marketplaces, and on my website as well. But the so if it's within the UK is fine, but obviously if you're ordering from my website, outside the UK will be more expensive. So I think Amazon will be your best bet. It's just maybe if it's not on any of the Amazon marketplaces where you are, then you may then I can post to you if
They
you're
will
able
pay for
to
posting.
pay for the postage. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that shouldn't be a problem at all.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's about it.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh, the time has just gone now.
I know.
The time just has just gone, and obviously you are a yummy mommy as well, very active mommy as well. Yeah. What's if we sit on this, I just saw the different legs that were beginning to to come out: insurance, relationship,
It's amazing. It's
family.
amazing. Yeah,
We thought
even family. Exactly. Time for your spouse. You can plan it. Time for your children. You can plan it because you don't want to mix both of them together. Obviously, there can be a time whereby you have your spouse and children time. That's fine. But you need to also define your spouse time. You need to define your children's time. Where even each child as well. Where you just want to focus on this child. Give your time, give everything to this child. Then it might be the turn of the other child next, the turn of the other child. All this will be successful. If you put an effective planning strategy in place. So because some people they tend to get overwhelmed, they tend to model everything together, but whereas they don't know that they can actually put different times for different person, for different people in the house. For spouse time should be so time to so time, children's time that time to that time. And even the children as well, you can give time allocation to each child as well, so that you're having that one-to-one with each child, not just having it with them together. That is equally important. So
Hmm. Someone will be sitting there saying, what are these lots saying? Not in this part of the world.
that's part of the
But
work.
you know what? It works.
It does work, yeah.
If we make the effort, it's just about trying. Just try a little, especially when it comes to giving our time to our children, to our relationships are dying because of lack of time. Somebody
Mm,
says, "Oh, but I have to go and work for the family. I have this work, 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 work. I've spoiled everything. Now you stay by yourself, enjoy the money, husband or wife." Let's pay attention, viewers. I didn't know this is where we are going to head up to, but wow. Um, Maybe at some point we will. I'm hoping during the course of the year, maybe we will come back again. Maybe do a Zoom so that we can really talk there intimately, and
then
maybe
you
we
can
can
ask questions as well, yeah.
yeah, and we can target particular topics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lady Sarah. What's the last thing? Lady Teresa is still typing there. You are so right. Relationship are dying. No, yes, it's true. What's the last thing you want to say?
So for me it's just
Now, I think we're gonna come back to this thing.
For me, basically, it would just be just to leave you with please, 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 please. Don't take planning for granted. It is very crucial. It is very essential, especially in terms of our life insurance, life assurance, things like that. Even for the kids as well, they have the ISAs, they have the other savings and all that as well. All those things they go along with. They make a huge, amount of difference. They make a huge difference, in our lives, in the lives of our loved ones as well. So please have it at the back of your mind that planning is essential, it is crucial, it is important. If we have it at the back of our mind, then and we normally say if we know better, we'll do better. So this is a way of, enlightening, is a way of just, you know, um, bringing it to bear to people, informing people as well, so that they can start making informed decisions. They're not just going out there blindly. But when you've got this information, it's not enough to have the information, but what you do with the information is what makes the difference. For example, I can hear this and just go back, okay, well, thank you for sharing and not do anything, but the power in it is, you going out there, turning something around. Obviously, something you've not been doing before, turning it around, beginning to do it, to do that thing. Or if it's something you've been doing before, working even better at it, how you can get better at it as well. So please, 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 it will be, I'll just love to leave you with always remember to plan, because if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. Yes, so that is what I'll leave you with. I'll leave our audience with tonight, please. And we need to also deal with our mindset as well, because mindset, it can break or make us. It can break or make us. And if we're still, for example, when I started off in my business, I was skeptical and I was ignorant. And that is, those two are very dangerous things to have side by side. It's okay to be ignorant, but but not, yeah, I'm sorry, it's okay to be skeptical but not ignorant. But when you're skeptical at the same time you're ignorant, then you probably will not go far. Because if you don't try something, if you don't try things, you won't know. But you can be skeptical but not ignorant. Just do your own research, do your due diligence, find out more about this particular thing, before you venture into it, and not just venture into it blindly. And when someone offers you a business opportunity, just take it, then ask questions later. And that's the way things, that's the way it works. Because you cannot say that, oh, okay, I won't try. If you don't try, you won't know. That's the thing. You won't even know in the first place, you know. But when you try, that's when you can say, oh, okay, I've actually tried that before. It didn't work. But if you haven't tried it, then you're not even going to know if it's going to work or not. So yeah, I'll just leave you with this, guys. Please plan. Life insurance is very important. Whether we like it or not, we're all gonna, pass away. We're all gonna pass away. But may the Lord make make us live till ripe old age before we pass away in Jesus' name. So that is very, very important. Put things in place for the family so that when you're gone, the family is not, running helter skelter looking for a whole. Another thing they do is GoFundMe. But whereas if you've put your life insurance in place, maybe even critical illness or income protection or something like that, put those things in place, then your family will have something to fall back on, after the funeral and all that, has been done. You know, I really don't understand. I understand that because there's a lump sum that will be paid out to the family when that person passes away. So, which will, you wouldn't even need to do any GoFundMe as a result, because, there's been planning that has gone in place and that has been put in place. So once that happens, it's just a case of, getting that lump sum, sorting out the funeral plans, funeral arrangements, and having the other lump sum to do, whether it's you want to put it down for a deposit for a house or something, but you can do something tangible with it. at the end of it. So please, guys, this is real, and we need to just educate our people around this, and find time to rest as well. Very important. Life can be very busy, can get busy, a lot of things can go on, but we need to find that balance, between working and resting or going on holiday. I know I've said it before that even going on holiday can be even within the UK here. You can have like getaways, maybe weekend getaways or something like that, and you come back refreshed. You'll come back. You're not your mental faculty is not clogged up, with stress and all that. And you can reason better, you can function better, you can even be a lot more effective at work as well. These things do amazing, amazing stuff. So, yeah, I rest my case here. Thank you so much, Pastor Flo. Thank you so much, ma.
Hmm. God help us. Oh. Like I said, I am not a pro. There are so many loopholes that I myself am working on, but I thank God I already shared the testimony that my life insurance, so I don't joke with it. It is running by the grace of God. Because now, no, I don't want no stress upon anyone. I normally say to people, any other thing that comes, is a bonus. So like I said, today is not enough to touch about things. One last thing you touch about was, for example, property or home, whatever, different things. But we will find another time, hopefully, by God's grace. Minister Carol supported your statement. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Yes, strike a balance, work, but plan for rest and holidays. Thank you, Treasured Cook. Planning prevents waste of resources. It alleviates unnecessary stress. Thank you, ladies. Teresa says we have to be so intentional this 2023 to better our relationships and other areas of our lives. Wow. Thank you so much, viewers. I have to let her go now, otherwise we're gonna be here. I I did not imagine we'll be branching like that, but I thank everybody for their openness.
I guess it's just a way of God just taking control, really, because I
Yeah,
just said to God that
yeah,
whatever He wants us to talk on, that will bless people and
yeah.
will also like enlighten them as well. It should just have His way. So it works in diverse ways. Thank God.
Thank you so Thank you so much, viewers. Thank you for joining us today. It's really been a pleasure. Thank you, Lady Sarah, for taking your time to come. Thank you very much to everyone who has joined us today. We really do appreciate you. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Practical Talk with Floris Lyman, and remember to follow and like the Facebook page. Remember also to support with stars with the content. Some of these sessions we are having, boy oh boy, some people pay lots of money for it, but look, don't we deserve something? We do, not so. Remember to support us. Remember to support Lady Sarah. Get her product. Get her product, please. It's on Amazon. Let's support each other for the wonderful things we are doing. The same will happen to you. So until then, thank you. Have a blessed week. Please plan. Even if you start writing down one thing, me, I'm going to do it. Even if I start writing down one thing, my hospital appointment, I'm going to put it down instead of saving things here and there. I don't mind even if I've saved it on my phone. Try and put it here. Thank you so much, viewers. God bless you. Have a productive week. Thank you so much, Lady Sarah, for joining us.
Thank you
God
so
bless you
much, Pastor
all.
Floris, and thank you to our amazing viewers as well. Thank you so much for the encouraging feedbacks we got. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Thank you, Pastor
Thank you.
Floris.
Please go and follow Social with Tola on Facebook and on Instagram, on YouTube. Go and follow, like, share, and share this program today and subscribe. Thank you very much to you all. Bye bye.
Bye.